A city enraged. And a nation in turmoil after 29-year-old Jacob Blake was shot in the back 7 times by a police officer in Kenosha, Wisconsin, his 3 children sitting in the car.
All my grandson asked repeatedly is, why did the police shoot my daddy in the back?
The shooting sparking outrage of protesters taking to the streets demanding justice for Jacob. The National Guard called into Kenosha from 3 different states.
And let me be clear, this was not an accident. This wasn't bad police work. This felt like some sort of vendetta being taken out on a member of our community.
This country is kind of like a box of matches right now, and we're just the match that got lit.
This just the latest flashpoint in a summer of unrest and protest about racial injustice and policing.
Well, I like to think that after the protests that followed the George Floyd video, it felt as if a lot of progress was being made. And that was fool's gold, to be quite honest with you. A lot of people, falsely believe that we had made significant progress. We just raised significant awareness.
Adding to the tragedy, the demonstrations in the aftermath of the shooting turning deadly earlier this week when armed men who authorities call vigilantes clashed with protesters. Among them, a teenager from out of state who allegedly shot and killed 2 people and injured a 3rd. 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse now in custody, charged with multiple counts of homicide and possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18. As new details emerge about what happened that deadly night, the teen from Antioch, Illinois, who was seen guarding a car repair shop Tuesday night, telling Blaze TV he was armed with lethal ammunition.
We're protecting from the citizens, and I just got pepper sprayed by a person in the crowd.
An hour and a half later, the disturbing and graphic incident unfolds. At 11:48 p.m., Rittenhouse can be seen running back to the scene where he shot a man, now identified as Joseph Rosenbaum. He then picks up his phone and runs away. Rosenbaum does not survive. 1 minute later, at 11:49, the shooter can be seen running down the street, long gun in hand. Protesters tackle him to the ground. His next victim, Anthony Huber, tries to grab the gun, seen in these still photos, attempting to disarm him with a skateboard, but he's shot in the chest and killed. Another protester, Gage Grosskreutz, is shot in the arm. According to the complaint, he appeared to have a handgun. At 11:51, he approaches police arriving on the scene. As police move in, Rittenhouse can be seen with his hands up, but he's not taken into custody. It's not until more than 12 hours later that police announce he's turned himself in across state lines in Illinois. Rittenhouse's attorney saying Kyle did nothing wrong. He exercised his God-given constitutional, common law, and statutory law right to self-defense. Kyle is not a racist or a white supremacist, adding that Rittenhouse was accosted by a mob while trying to protect a business. Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth today defending the officers who didn't take Rittenhouse into custody that night.
I've been in shootings before, and you have such tunnel vision on your target. You have such tunnel vision on what you believe is the greatest risk to you and people. A person walking or running down the street with their hands up, that's not a risk to me.
Some have contrasted Rittenhouse's treatment by law enforcement to Blake's.
There is something about dark skin that automatically registers as a threat to law enforcement that white skin hasn't proved to register in the same way. We need to have serious conversations about why law enforcement has this tendency to do that to men of color and women of color and not their white counterparts.
Kenosha police identified the officer who shot Blake 7 times in the back as Rustin Shesky, a 7-year veteran of the force. Shesky and 2 other officers have been placed on administrative leave, and a federal civil rights investigation has been opened. Blake was shot after Shesky and other police officers responded to a domestic incident at about 5 o'clock last Sunday evening, according to the Wisconsin Department of Justice. Authorities say Blake ignored police commands. This video shows Blake in the moments before he was shot, appearing to struggle with officers before getting up and walking around to the driver's side. 3 officers following Blake, one of them with his gun drawn, grabbing Blake's shirt as he opens the car door, and then the officer fired 7 bullets in his back. Blake had a warrant for his arrest based on charges of third-degree sexual assault. Investigators say Blake told the officers he had a knife. Authorities say that knife was found on the floor inside his car.
So there's a lot here that has to be fleshed out yet. The officers don't wear body-worn cameras, which hurts. Most police department has that. But I think the key part that I see of this, if he does have, he's in possession of a knife, that raises the threat level up to the police officers at some point. And so that has to be brought into account as well.
Blake remains in the ICU, paralyzed from the waist down.
Does he have anything he wants to convey or say?
The first thing he did when he looked at me was cried and then began to say, I'm sorry about all of this. I don't really think he knows what happened. I said, then why are you sorry? He says, because I don't want a burden on anybody. I want to be with my children. And I don't think I'm going to walk again, Mom.
In the wake of the violent unrest on the streets of Kenosha following her son's shooting, Blake's mother making an emotional plea for peaceful protest this week.
Do Jacob justice on this level and examine your hearts. We need healing. A house that is against each other cannot stand. To all of the police officers, I'm praying for you and your families.
Over the past week, teams and players from multiple professional sports leagues chose to boycott games and practices, refusing to play in protest of Jacob Blake's shooting.
I think the most difficult part is to see, like, people still don't care. Being a black man in America, it's not easy.
We keep loving this country, and this country does not love us back. And it's really so sad.
The NBA playoffs initially appeared to be in jeopardy as star LeBron James demanded to cancel all remaining games.
We are scared as black people in America. Black men, black women, black kids, we are terrified.
The players eventually agreed to return to the court. In a show of solidarity, Major League Baseball and the WNBA all postponing games, the NHL pausing their playoffs, NFL teams canceling practice.
Well, we're used to seeing individual athletes take a stand. That is not unusual. What happened this week is historic, is because now you have leagues behind these athletes. The league themselves are running around the mission of anti-racism, so that these athletes aren't on an island by themselves trying to drag the league across the finish line.
Today in our nation's capital, a brief but powerful moment of unity, compassion, and courage. 57 years after Martin Luther King Jr. walked these very streets, it stood on these very steps, and proclaimed to the world his dream of a united tomorrow. Today, thousands once again gathered to march on Washington, including Tori Lowe and a group of 60, walked 800 miles from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to Washington, D.C. to be here for the march.
We wanted to let the world know what was going on in the state of Wisconsin with African Americans and African Americans across the world when it comes to the racial inequality in America.
To make their voices heard and to remember the names of those whose lives were taken. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Rayshard Brooks. And from those same steps where MLK stood, Jacob Blake's family delivered a powerful message to America.
America! Your reality is not real. Catering to your delusions is no longer an option. We will not be your docile slave. We will only pledge allegiance to the truth.
For Nightline, I'm Alex Perez in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.